Mr. Humble Hippie here. We're in an ag waste, illegally trespassing on city property as usual. I'm not sure if you know what an ag waste is. This is basically where they collect whatever from wherever and they just dump it. And most people may or may not think about it or realize it, but our city or our private businesses or industries or commercial businesses or industries, we're all the same people and we should all have the same regulations. So it really does not matter if it's the police department or whatever regulatory or enforcement agency, i.e. the city, or the state, Caltrans, whatever agencies that are involved in the enforcement and cleanup, the EPA, environmental. Anyway, so these people and businesses and industries and regulatory agencies should not have any more rights than any other citizen. And if I am obligated to clean up and pick up my trash, there we go, people. Then why is the city in your local township, USA, not also obligated to do the same? All local municipalities have a dump. It's called the dump. I'm pretty sure of that. And I'm not exactly aware how waste management works everywhere. And I'm not exactly sure if waste management is a government regulatory agency or just a monopolized control agency under the terms not sure how to pronounce that exactly. I think it starts with an M and ends with an A. And they are in control of all the waste management everywhere. And so I think there are a lot of unknown and speculative assumed things that happen. Like we assume that when we see city workers or state agencies or businesses that are cleaning up the roadsides or cutting down, maintaining city properties and things, we assume that they're doing this maintenance for the benefit of the community and the benefit of the city and under the same guidelines that whatever are imposed. And again, this is my revolving rant, is that I do not believe that agencies follow any particular guidelines. I do believe, in fact, that in the woods and behind closed doors and gates, people do whatever they like, which is fine. I'm a firm believer in doing whatever I feel like, especially in my yard or property. Nevertheless, there are regulations that say I cannot, in fact, do what I like in my yard. Cannot go to the bathroom in my yard, for instance. Cannot just throw trash in my yard and allow it to accumulate and decompose. We have a system called the trash, that comes and picks up your trash every week. It's pretty normal. And so, again, if this system that comes and picks up the trash and you were to find out that that system is actually dumping that trash in somebody else's backyard or in another part of your yard, wouldn't you question the legitimacy of that? And this is what I'm questioning, is that this is an agricultural waste dump, which my basic understanding of agricultural means plant life. And, maybe not gardens. Like I said, if you're hired by the city or state to go, or you are the city or state agency, EPA, whatever, Forest Service, they go out and cut down trees and clean pathways and the sides of the freeways. Fallen trees and different things fall onto the roadways. They have to be maintained and cleaned at all times. So every single day, 24 hours a day, somewhere in your state or country, there's agencies cleaning up the roadways and cleaning up trees and different debris, and all of that debris gets taken to their local ag waste dump. The whole term of ag waste is to specify the difference between trash. I would think that would be semi-obvious. You wouldn't be able to take a load of socks and dump them at your ag waste. I don't know if that's just my assumption or if that's a reasonable conclusion or if that's a fact that's documented somewhere. But what it seems to me to be the commonality is that these ag waste, which are in fact private property, and you are trespassing as a citizen, you are not allowed to bring your ag waste, meaning your bushes and debris from your yard that you've trimmed down. This is specifically for the city properties that the city hires either third-party agencies or again city agencies that maintain your roadways and different things. And so again, my long rant to make point is that none of this debris is actual agricultural waste. It is in fact trash. It is in fact toxic waste. And I think there should be a huge difference between toxic trash waste and agricultural waste and the dump and what people might theorize to be garden waste, because there is a beginning to all of this, and I don't believe that all of these agencies or people really realize where the ends to this are. Will this in fact decompose? No, it will not. What in fact will, it will, well, okay, this is actually metal, and what will happen is this is slowly going to rust. And so over the time of the history of this state right here, they have actually witnessed their own debris rust and turn into dust, and it is true. So they know, as good old boys, philosophy, that they can just bury their trash and it will eventually decompose. But that is your older traditional trash from the 1800s or so. Your trash from the 1900s to the current times of 2015, it is not a piece of metal. It does not decompose. We have highly industrial, scientifically created resins and products that are not traditional in any sense, and they cannot be broken down. Even plastic cannot break down. Did you know plastic will last for tens of thousands of years? This may break down in the sun. The color might fade away, the inks in it, but all that's going to happen to this piece of plastic straw is it's going to change shape a little bit. It's going to change down to its most basic structures, which are still pieces of plastic. So now we're just going to have a handful of plastic. This will end up in the ocean. Fish will eat this. We'll eat that fish. We're gonna eat this plastic straw someday. And anyway, my original point again is that this is not the same thing right here. This is supposed to be dumped here, not this. And so if our government agencies, as taxpayers and as victims, if we put this trash in our garden centers that then recycle our dirt, okay, and then bag it up and sell it and or put around our food gardens that we're going to eat off of, then we're going to have a problem, because this stuff is toxic. And so it looks identical to your own farm. If you were on your own farm or in your own yard, you would be digging up your yard, you would be cutting down bushes, you'd have this pile of dirt and this pile of hay and weeds and different things, and you would think, oh yeah, you know, it's great, it's a pile of stuff that decomposes. But then you walk here onto the agricultural waste that's maintained by the city. Here's a good example over here. You see this See, now that big truck is full of agricultural waste. It might be coming here. That truck is going to be unregulated. When they dump this stuff, that's my point in case somebody comes right now. Look at the piping. Under all of this stuff, look at the cement. Since we're on the subject, okay, well, I won't name them by name, but the United States' biggest dirt company, soil company, they don't sell dirt, by the way, they create mixes for people to grow medicine and food, you know, insists that I should just stand outside of their operations and or outside of these ag waste dumps and verify which trucks come in and out, because they insist that they no longer, that they have never, and they currently do not, get their dirt from ag waste. Now, in my area, agricultural resale of compost and ready-made soilless mixes, meaning hand-mixed, hand-batched growing mediums. They might have dirt in it, it might have all these different products that were hand selected to be put into this bag that you paid $10 to $20 per bag to grow your products in. And I'm suggesting that here you go, here is the very beginning of your average topsoil company's offerings on the sides of any road of USA. You see topsoil free for sale, you know, or compost. And I'll see my other videos on the compost companies because they're mega huge. And I'm not saying there's anything shady about any of them at all. I'm just suggesting that there is these possibilities and that there is this factual fact that your agricultural waste that's controlled, if it's anything to do with the government, and you cannot personally, you know, make sure everything's straight, that this is what they put in their dirt. This is what they put in their dirt. Every kind of dirty, toxic, scummy thing that they've scraped up out of somewhere. This isn't dirt, this isn't from the earth, this is just trash. There might be dirt involved in the trash, but there is a good majority of actual physical, dangerous, never gonna break down, nothing to do with dirt, nothing to do with agricultural that's in here. And that's my question is where is this stuff going? I'm telling you where it's going. We're standing on it. They have been building this mound for maybe 20 years. We are standing on a man-made pile of trash from my county that's almost 15, 20, I'd say about 20 feet tall right now. Well, its tallest point is easily 25 feet tall. We are standing on a solid man-made trash mountain that's 25 feet tall, that is totally toxic and is not being regulated. And furthermore, this is one of the country's biggest industrial waste plants right here. It's Humboldt Flake Board Company, and the city of Arcata has been allowing these companies to dump their toxic waste in the ground for about 30 years, I think. And it's just a well-known fact. It's so documented, and it needs to keep being documented. If you see my other videos on Mr. Humboldt Hippie at YouTube, where I've documented a lot of the Humboldt Flake Board, you know, company, and probably lost a lot of those videos, and most of them like this are just rants because, you know, I'm not a scientist, I'm just some pissed off person walking by. But it's a fact. Look it up. Humboldt Flake Board Company, the Bestos, you know, all the workers to all these people, places around here, they're all dead and dying, bent over, crippled old men. It's sad. It's a sad society that these towns and these cities, you know, they push this sickness, you know, on the community. They don't need to be like this. This could easily have been selected for the dump, and dirt could have easily been, you know, selected for the dirt. And in the exact same scenario, if this is a dump, then they could classify it as an actual dump. But it is not, and it is over a waterway. This right here is a waterway. Jolly Creek, Janes Creek. We have hidden 20 feet of toxic waste is hiding. This nature preserve is what I will call it, only for the fact of it being inaccessible to the general public. But this right here, this whole bottom corner, and if you notice, did I say 20 or 30 feet? We're over 100 feet up right now. This is a waterway that has been drained. All of this is natural resource. just 20 feet tall fennel and different things. But this is what you cannot see right here is a whole little creek and a river of just a bog. Anyway, serious waste here, and it doesn't show right now, but I'm telling you, I've come here year after year, and you and your animal are in danger. You just run around on things and you're not sure what you're standing on, and it looks okay when it's really not. There's metal wires and dangerous rebar, and you know, again, the dirt itself is toxic. The dirt itself, I'll give you an example here, not even a great example, but this black stuff, that's asphalt. It's asphalt. It's petroleum based and a lot of other chemicals, petrochemicals that they mix in with dirt and rocks and different things to make a thing, you know, so we can build the roads. You know, everybody kind of knows that, but you don't really think about it much. But you should think about it if this is what you were actually spreading out on your tomatoes, you know, because you thought, oh, what a great idea. I'll just go to the garden center and pick up some compost, you know, and or from some company that says, yeah, you know, we get our compost and we start with this and we mix it with that and we mix it with this and we mix it with that. Well, you really want to know where this, that, and the other thing comes from, and you want to have them document it in a video, because guess what? This is a video we're watching, and guess what? It's 2015. Everyone has a video. Everyone has the option in their hand to flip out their phone and take 5 or 10 pictures. If you're a manufacturer or a business, or do anything in life, I don't care. You can stand in one spot and probably take 5 pictures of your shop or your manufacturing business to verify that you are legit and that you actually have a garden, or that you actually have a, you know, a proper methodology. I want to show you this garden right now. This is a garden. This is